We're going to start with some monster walks. The first exercise uses the round band. You're going to place this band around your feet and then just above your knees. For this exercise, from a sideways position, we're going to be using our squat. And the squat is where we put our hips back, butt back, and we're going to be sitting down backwards. So you want to make sure that most of your weight is back here, not forward. So we don't want to lean forward and be on the toes. We want to have our weight back. You can balance that by putting your hands forward. We're going to be walking side to side and keeping our knees apart. So from a different angle, you'll see that I'm going to keep my knees out, not in, and then slow walks side to side with your weight back. Making sure that your knees aren't moving inward towards each other, but are staying away from each other. Keeping control of your upper body as well. Keeping band tension at all times. We're going to be doing an exercise called L shapes. And the idea here is to go into a position that's very similar to your serve, but with both arms. So very simple. From the side, you can see I'm lined up. My shoulders are lined up completely with the rest of my chest here. We're going to be going down and then back up. It's really important not to elevate your shoulders and neck high, but to keep them relaxed and down, to be aware of the angles of your elbows. You don't want your elbows low, you don't want them too high, you want them just right. Same thing with the hands here, not too close to your head, not too far away, but right at that L-shaped trophy position. So by going down and back up, we're just hinging our arms downward, but keeping them in position. At first when you do this, you may only want to do it without the resistance bands. But once you've gotten better at the exercise, you can start to add your resistance bands. And that may not be for several times until you've done this video numerous times with your parents. So now I put the band up, a very light resistance, and I'm going to now rotate my arms up into the L shape. Keeping my arms very relaxed down and back up again. And you can see I'm not pulling my back, I'm not pulling from my shoulders, I'm not elevating, I'm just setting, up, back down, up, back down. We're going to be doing lunges with some rotation to work on our core strength as well as our leg strength. So I'm going to take my band and just wrap it around something and then weave it through so I just have one side pulled tight, and now I can pull this away. So for our lunge from the side, our lunge is going to be a very simple lunge basically. We keep our chest above our hips. We're going to step out and drop down into our lunge. So our back knee is very close to the ground, almost like you're touching it to grass. The front knee, the weight is in the heel, and I keep my posture up. So for this exercise, I step forward with my hands at shoulder height, step out into your lunge, down, and now rotate your upper body and back, pushing off, and then switching legs. Keeping your eyes forward, lunge down, rotate, back, and here, and again, stepping into your lunge, rotating and back. One of the keys to the rotation is to make sure you're not just using your arms to pull, but you're actually rotating at your shoulders. So my shoulders are moving this way and then back. And you want to do this on both sides of the band, so you can switch directions as well. And now go this way, down, pulling across, and still pushing back. Now you want to make sure the resistance is right. So if it's too much resistance, you might have to get a little closer to where the band is. If you need more resistance, you step away to find the right resistance for you. We're going to do a chest press, which is very similar to a push-up, but we're going to use our band, and we're going to do it while we're standing up. So I'm just going to take one of my handles and move it around something, so I have both handles. And then now I'm going to place my body where I'm positioned, where the handles are here, back in that 90-degree position, just like I had my goalpost with my arms at 90 degrees. I then can put my hands down. Make sure to find the right resistance, because in this exercise, you want to be balanced, but you want to make sure that you can extend your arms forward to touch together and then bring them back to that position. So very similar to a push-up, pushing out, pushing back. Make sure you stay in a nice low base so that you're not leaning forward too much, you're not leaning backwards too much. But again, I'm just gonna put those arms here, press out, touch them together, bring them back, out, and back. Don't go down with the elbows, but be very aware that your elbows have to stay at the height of your shoulders as they go from here, forward, and back. We're gonna be going down into a plank to again work on our core strength, shoulder strength. And in this case, I want to go into my forearm plank. We're going to be pushing up into our hands and then back down again. This is a difficult exercise, so for those of you that are more advanced, you can do the ones where we're not on our knees, similar to the push-ups we've done before in the past. And for those of you that are less advanced, you can use your knees. So I'm going to start with the knee ones first. I'm going to go down onto my knees, keep my core really tight and engaged, so I pull my belly button into my spine, keep my butt clenched nice and tight, and then I go down into my forearms. I want my head nice and neutral, not up, not down, but here, we're just gonna push up into a push-up position where now my hands are underneath my shoulders. Going back down again, and then repeating this pattern over and over again, making sure my hips stay nice and tight. If this exercise feels too easy for you, now you can go into a full push-up position and do the same thing. But this is very advanced. You want to make sure that you're not sagging or putting your butt up too high, but staying nice and neutral. So again, here, down. Don't let your hips roll side to side, but push back up and a position. So we've learned lunges in the past. This time we're going to do kind of a reverse lunge. So it's almost like a karaoke where my leg steps behind. We're going to step really far behind and down. So I'm going to be going down, behind, and now dropping deep into my leg and then pushing back up again. And again, down, keeping my posture up. Back down, pushing back up. You want the weight to go into the back leg. You'll feel a pinch in your hip. So if I'm going with my left leg, you'll feel a pinch in your right hip. When I go with my right leg back and down, keeping my posture up, you'll feel a pinch in your left hip. And you just repeat these over and over. It's always good to keep control of your hands in front for balance. Stepping back, keeping your chest up, eyes forward, and up and down.